All right, good evening, everybody. It is 7:15, so we're going to call this meeting of the Richfield Housing and Redevelopment Authority into session. First of all, we have the approval of the minutes of the Special Concurrent City Council HRA and Planning Commission Workshop of February 9th, 2016, and the regular HRA meeting of February 16th, 2016.
I'll move the approval.
I'll second it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we've approved the minutes. Our next item is approval of the agenda, and if there are no objections, we would like to add under item 5, a member of the public has asked to address the commission.
I am willing to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All right, we've approved the agenda as amended,
Yep.
There's been a motion to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, then we'll move forward. Next, we have HRA Programs and Community Development 2015 Year in Review. Mr. Devich?
Thank you, Chair Supple, members of the HRA. Each year, we do this presentation just to let folks know what we have done for the past year. And each year, or at least most recently, Ms. Barton has done this presentation, and she's doing it again this evening. So take it away, Karen.
Thank you, Chair Supple. Commissioners, I'll just ask that you hold your applause until the end, please. As Mr. Devich said, the HRA operates a number of programs that are designed to improve and diversify the city's housing stock, assist lower-income households, and support development and redevelopment throughout the community. And we just like to do a little overview every year to show what we've done in the previous year. So, without further ado, I will do that. The HRA offers a variety of housing programs to address the needs and desires of the residents of the community. Probably our biggest story is the Richfield Rediscovered program, which was started back in 1990 with the first Richfield Rediscovered homes being completed back in 1991. Since then, we've constructed over 125 new market rate homes under the program. The Richfield Rediscovered program, for those of you in the audience who may not be familiar, facilitates the construction of new single-family owner-occupied housing through either the sale of buildable lots acquired and cleared through the HRA, or through a $50,000 redevelopment credit granted to a qualifying project. This year, the program is celebrating our 25th anniversary. Several activities are planned throughout the year to highlight this big achievement, including, as you may have noticed out in the lobby, we have a lovely display board up that's showing several of the 125 homes. We obviously didn't have enough space for all of them, but quite a few over the years. There will also be the homes highlighted on the city's website, a featured segment of Out and About in Richfield, Mr. Devich will be doing. And we'll be also offering driving and virtual tours of the homes throughout the community.
Oh, great idea.
The program, the Richfield Rediscovered program, last year, we had 4 applications that were approved. 3 homes were completed last year, and we acquired 2 new lots. We have 4 lots remaining for sale currently, and there are 3 that are currently in the pipeline that should be available later this summer. The 3 homes that were completed in 2015, the first one was 6637 Fifth Avenue. This one was 2,900 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage, and valued at $395,000.
I want to live there. That's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Are they coming up? Oh. Or no, I'm going to continue on.
Okay,
You can
mess
around with that. Second one, 7308 10th Avenue. This one's 3,200 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, a fully finished basement, and a 3-car garage. And the end value on this was almost $442,000. And the third one completed last year, 7225 First Avenue. This is approximately 2,000 square feet, has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2-car attached garage, has alley access to that here, and the end value of $365,000.
Beautiful.
The HRA also administers a new home program, which was established back in 1974. It provides home ownership opportunities to lower income households. The HRA purchases substandard houses and demolishes them, and then partners with nonprofit housing organizations to construct new ones, and then those are sold to income qualifying households. Since 1990, there have been 38 new homes built under this program. The program in most recent years has been funded primarily through our community development block program. In 2015, the HRA partnered with Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity to construct 2 new homes. One has been completed and the other one will be completed later this year. And the HRA also partnered with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation to construct 2 new homes on Clinton Avenue, and then 5 new townhomes at 2517 West 70. These are the 2 Habitat for Humanity homes located at 6220 and 6336 15th Avenue. These are the 2 homes, 7312 and 7360 Clinton, that we partnered with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation to construct. These were completed last spring and sold to qualifying homeowners. Remember one of them is fully accessible, a unique feature that we hadn't offered before in our program. And then this is the 5 townhome project at 2517 76th Street West that Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation is in the process of building. Of the 5 townhomes, 3 will be sold to qualifying households as affordable, and all 5 of them offer single-level living, which is a product we don't have much of.
This is really moving along.
It is.
Yeah, I pass there a couple times every week, and it's really, by the end of the summer, I imagine they'll be done with those.
Yep, that's their goal.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people already interested.
Terrific.
The HRA also offers several other programs, including the Transformation Loan Program. The Transformation Loan Program offers interest-free loans up to 15% of project costs for large-scale remodeling projects, and those are projects that are valued at $50,000 or more total cost. There's no interest and no monthly payments on the loan. The loan is forgiven after 30 years, and there's no income limit in this program. Maximum loan amount through this program is $25,000. Last year, we had 3 transformation home loans that were completed. The total amount lent by the HRA was just over $42,000, and it leveraged almost $200,000 in rent. This was one of the transformation projects at 6632 15th, probably the most dramatic of them all. This was obviously a new kitchen, remodeled kitchen, and included mudroom and some additional built-in cabinetry, and the construction cost in this was
Those are the colors in my kitchen. I think I'm gonna I haven't put in a backsplash. I think that's a great idea there. I think I'm gonna go
really,
for that.
really pretty.
Yeah.
This is a transformation loan that was completed at 7236 DuPont. This was a bedroom addition, bathroom and dining remodel, new entryway and new siding. This project cost was $180,000. And this one, the final one, was 7201 Knox. That was completed last year. They converted their attached garage into a family room and a new entryway. They had previously constructed a 2-car garage behind the house. They do still have a but didn't need this additional one. And the total project cost minus the new garage, $55,000. The HRA also administered the rental to homeownership conversion program. This program began in 2014. It was in response to the significant increase in the number of single-family rental homes in the city over the years. The conversion program provided incentives to rental property owners and prospective home buyers to return single-family rentals to homeownership. The program provided a $2,000 grant to the seller for closing costs, and then either a $7,000 purchase assistance loan or $10,000 rehab loan to the buyers. The loans are deferred. There's no interest and no monthly payments, and they are forgiven after 10 years, provided the home stays in owner occupancy for that full tenure. In 2015, there were 3 applications received, one for $10,000 rehab loan for a kitchen remodel and added bathroom, and 2 for the $7,000. Given the change in the market, we have seen already a natural decrease in the number of rentals. There's a lot more converting back to home ownership, and so there hasn't been such a demand for the incentive. And for 2016, we did remove that program just because we didn't see such a demand. But if it back up, we certainly will. The HRA also offers a Community Fix-Up Fund, which is a rehab loan program, and this is provided in partnership with the Minnesota Housing and Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation. Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation administers this grant and loan program for us. The HRA provides matching funds to write down the interest rate to 3%. The normal interest rate would be somewhere in the 5 to 6% interest rate. These loans are traditional loans, so there are payments and interest. There's a $50,000 maximum, and there is a household income limit of $99,000. These funds have been used for a wide range of projects in the city, including new garages, driveways, remodeled bathrooms, kitchens, siding, windows, and the whole gamut. In 2015, there were 7 loans originated for a total investment of just over $250,000. And the HRA contributed $28,000 to write down the interest rate on those loans. The Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation also provides services through their Housing Resource Center to residents in the city of Richfield. We contract with them annually to provide these services. Some of the services including remodeling consultation. They offer access to a variety of loans and grant programs that we don't offer right here in the city, but they can do that for us. And then also providing housing information. Anything to do with home ownership. Last year, the Housing Resource Center provided 88 services to 53 Richfield residents. In addition to the remodeling consultation services that the Housing Resource Center provides for us, the HRA also offers an architectural consultation program. This is available to any residents in the city of Richfield. It provides a 2-hour consultation with a licensed architect. So if you're thinking about doing a remodeling project, it's nice to be able to sit down with a professional and they can take at it and help you tweak things. The cost of this consultation is $250. However, the homeowner only has to pay $25 cost of the additional. And last year, we had 15 homeowners take advantage of it.
Do we see repeat visits from a particular homeowner? You said 15 homeowners served in 2015. Did any of them come back for a remodeling loan or anything like that?
You know, I would have to look at that and cross-check the
Be interesting
records.
to see, given, 1 or 2 years, how many people first start out with an architectural consult and then come back and get assistance for whatever their project might be.
I know that with the Richfield Rediscovered, we have had people utilize the service. They'll be working with a builder, and builders aren't necessarily or architects, so they both get us to take plans. That's the Community Development Block Grant Program is a federal program that provides funding to the HRA and to the city every year. Last year, we were awarded $241,000 through the program. And of that $241,000, $40,000 went directly into our deferred loan program. $94,000 was budgeted for acquisition and or rehab of single-family housing. $36,000 of funding went to social services that provide housing-related services within the city of Richfield. And then $70,000 of the funding was budgeted for 10 Avenue streetscape improvements, which finally. The deferred loan program, which I mentioned, just a couple highlights on that. That is a program that's administered for us through Hennepin County, and it's a deferred loan program, no interest, no payments. It's offered to lower income households, and it's meant to help them maintain and make health and life safety improvements to their home. They also can do emergency loans through that program. So if somebody had an issue where tree fell on their house or their furnace was red tagged, we can assist with that. Last year, through the deferred loan program, there were 6 projects started and 10 projects. And generally, they all will max out at $30,000. Maximum amount you can get. We also offer the Home Energy Squad Enhanced program. This is a program that we partner with the Center for Energy and Environment, CenterPoint Energy, and Excel Energy. This program offers energy visits to any of the households in the city. The cost is $50. However, if you're lower income, that fee is waived. And on average, participating households in Richfield have seen savings of over $100 in energy. Additional services that we do, just to touch on, we do ongoing maintenance or management, of 2 HRA-owned rental properties, and then also management of a large HRA loan portfolio. Some of the events and outreach that we did in 2015, including providing tables at the biannual Home and Garden Show. We had remodeling experts and architects on hand to talk with residents about projects or thoughts, ideas on things that they could do with their houses and their yards. We also host an annual realtor workshop, which last year was called Best of Richfield. We had 20 realtors attend. And just to note, this year's event is scheduled to be held on April 20th. Housing staff also was present at 2 Richfield farmer markets this season and also at PennFest. At those events, we were providing residents with information about the different programs and doing some marketing and outreach of those programs. In 2013, the HRA appointed a 15-member task force to create a housing visioning statement, which was completed in 2013. From that group, a 7-member subcommittee was formed to develop specific policy recommendations relating to senior housing, affordable housing, market rate, and multifamily housing. And those policies were presented and approved to the HRA both in 2014 and 2015. The HRA also provides a couple rental assistance programs. The first one is the Kids at Home program. And the second one is our Section 8 Housing Choice, Housing Voucher Choice Program. The Kids at Home program is a program that provides a shallow rent subsidy combined with social services to help households that reside in the city of Richfield and have kids in the Richfield School District. It helps them to have housing stability and work on financial independence, further that stability. The Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, that is a program that the tenants who qualify for that pay approximately 30% of their income towards their rent. The rest is paid for through the program. There was 382 households that received assistance through the Section 8 program last year, and 25 families received assistance through the Kids at Home program. HRA also obviously supports development and redevelopment throughout the city. So I just wanted to touch on a couple of the bigger developments that happened last year. The Richfield Bloomington Honda facility was completed last year. This is a two-story facility at 400 West 77th Street. If you haven't been there, you should go. It's killer. Did a really nice job with it. Lyndale Station, they completed phase 3, which is the third building at the northeast corner of 66 Lyndale. That folks may remember, Lyndale Station began phase 1 of the redevelopment back in 2012 with the construction of the Alley Fitness Strip Center next to it. And then in late 2014, they began construction of phase 2, which is the third building at the northeast corner. That building was completed last year and is currently occupied by Caribou Coffee and Dine, My Burger, Waxing the City, Great Clip,
That's it.
maybe Crickets in there.
Oh, crickets, that's right. That's
And
right.
then they have one more space, very small. So they leased up that. Audi purchased several properties last year near 14th Avenue and 77th Street along 494. You may remember the old backyard barbecue, Second Wind, the old bowling alley. They acquired all those properties, raised them, and are beginning construction on their new facility, which will be a multi-story facility with an anticipated opening next at this point.
They're really sticking with the fountain and everything, huh?
Yep, they're going to be putting
That's
in
gonna
the,
be
It's supposed to be very park-like. It's supposed to be open park for public.
Gotta have
and they'll maintain it.
entertainment there.
Nice. It's very nice.
Some of the other redevelopment activity that is kind of underway is Cedar Point 2 housing, former City Garage North site, and Cedar Point South. Cedar Point 2 housing, that is a redevelopment area directly across from Target and Home Depot. And in July of last year, the City Council and HRA selected the developer Boyclair Corporation to do the redevelopment of this area. The proposed project will consist of approximately 200 multifamily rental units, of which 20% will be affordable, and approximately 35 for-sale townhomes. The project is currently scheduled to begin construction sometime. And these are just some graphic elevations. Nothing's been finalized yet, so these are preliminary. Another view. And this is a view of the proposed homes. They will be both two. The former City Garage North site, Mesaba Capital, had submitted a proposal last year for the development of senior housing on this site. The proposal includes 88 units, 28 would be for memory care and 60 for assisted living. The project is currently scheduled to break ground later this year.
question.
Yep.
Did we have any inkling that Village Shore was going to expand? When did we find out about the Village Shore expansion? Because they're having assisted living and memory care. All of a sudden, kaboom, we gave approval to these folks because we didn't have it, and now we're going to have an overabundance.
It was just after the first of this year that we had been approached by Market Plaza with an interest to add additional units to their facility.
Yeah, so it was after we had given approval to these folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's around about the same time they were happening.
And it's way too late, it's a totally private operation there for Village Shores, Market Plaza, as to what they're going to put there. They're not asking for any city money, correct?
They're not asking for city money, but they did have to get land use approvals
Yeah.
because they're a planned unit development. And the market analysis that was completed recently by Ms. Saba showed that even combined with the additional units at Village Shores, there still would be a greater demand than what would be provided between the two new developments for memory.
Madam Chair, I would just add too that both of the developments, both Village Shores and Masaba, are proposed to be operated by the same operator. And so that operator knew that both of those were
Oh,
going to
no
be
kidding.
happening simultaneously. We have to conclude that they think that there's the market for that.
For both, okay.
Cedar Point South, Anderson Companies presented a proposal last year for the construction of approximately 300 multifamily rental units in the Cedar corridor just south of 66th Street. This project will include the construction of a portion of Richfield Parkway that will run south of the roundabout near Home Depot Park, and it's scheduled to break ground late this year.
So, Ms. Barton, did they determine they had flexibility depending on which way the parkway went? Would both ways work, or?
Yes, and right now they're waiting on us to decide which way we want the road to go, so we're kind of holding them up a little bit. We asked them to just give us a couple months to figure out which way the parkway should run, and they're fine. They have options to do their development either way.
Are any of the existing apartment buildings in that area going to be condemned or bought out or anything like that?
Anderson Company has a purchase agreements for 3 11-unit apartment buildings that are on Cedar Avenue.
Yeah, most of those residents are not aware of what's going on, and that's worrisome to me. But, if the landlords don't tell them, there's nothing we can do.
And yeah, we can certainly, address that with the property owners too.
Yeah.
The problem with real estate development is it's never a done deal until
Yeah,
it's a done deal.
yeah.
So I'm sure they will tell them in time. And a couple of elevations, Cedar Point South. And that's it. So there are questions. Take anything else?
Does anyone have any questions?
Have we, yeah, I guess when I think about a couple of our restaurants, we've been hit with something that's been going along nationally. We lost Old Country Buffet, our Champs has lost its lease, and our Baker's Square has been closed. I know that that's the only one that's been kind of reopened as a restaurant. Champs, we don't know where they will land. They'd like to be in Richfield. But have we thought about what we're going to do over there at Old Country Buffet? And there's, of course, a piece of land right next door, too. I keep thinking,
the
wow,
church.
there's an opportunity to expand a real restaurant there.
Absolutely. We have been in discussions with the owners of the property at Old Country Buffet, that parcel, and we have talked to them about purchasing the church and possibly vacating the land between.
Yeah.
I think John probably has a few more details on that, and then has also spoken to Champs, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's
I know you and I've talked about Champs.
accurate. Yeah, and with Old Country Buffet, again, really both Champs and Old Country Buffet and Baker Square, all three of those were corporate decisions. We were lucky that the Champs in Richfield held on as long as it did and was able to stay. I believe that about 75% of the Champs in Minnesota had gone out of business. But we have been in discussion with Champs. They'd like to relocate in Richfield. They're talking about wanting to wait out the 66th Street construction.
Yeah.
But I'm in constant contact with them. With the Old Country Buffet site, the owners of that site, it's the Lupian Auto Group owns that shopping center. And I've talked to them a number of times since Old Country Buffet left. And they're really, right now, trying to reassess. I will say that among the retail strip mall owners, they've been about the most proactive and the best to work with in Richfield. So I have high hopes that they will be able to do something there.
Yeah, I guess I have concerns too with the hub, now that we know that the Hennepin County Medical Clinic is actually going to leave the back of the hub and go over to Village Shores as part of their redevelopment. And of course, that leaves another big open hole over there. That's always, of a concern, but I know that we have not been able to do a lot with those folks over there. And I just wonder, how far along does it have to get before they're going to look at that site and do something?
Yeah, and it's my opinion that the space that was occupied by Hennepin County Medical Center is going to be extremely difficult to fill.
I think so too.
Just how it's situated in the center. And people may know this, the Hallmark has also left.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just recently. She couldn't find anybody to take it over, and she wanted to retire. She's in her 80s.
yeah.
No
So
kidding.
the hub, what they've been telling us all along is that when they look at their vacancy ratio, it's much lower at the hub than it is at the other dozens of shopping centers that are owned by the company. With HCMC leaving and Hallmark leaving, that may change the formula for them
Yeah.
and put it into their category of centers that they want to pay some attention to.
Yeah.
But that has not been the case to date.
Okay. Keep us updated. I know you talk to them always.
Are there any other questions? Okay, moving on to item number 4, it's consideration of a resolution authorizing the purchase of real property located at 7533 DuPont Avenue through the Richfield Rediscovered Program. Mr. Devich.
Thank you, Chair Supple, members of the HRA. Actually, this item could have been on a consent calendar, but since it would have been the only item on a consent calendar, why do it? So we're having it as a separate item. But it's just one of the typical ones that we come across, and where there's a property that we can pick up that is in a nice area and could be
Yeah.
redeveloped. And I'm going to turn it over to Karen to just summarize it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. And Commissioners, just kind of an interesting twist on this one is that it was a foreclosure through Hennepin County, and it sat vacant for quite a number of years before we could get the county to move on it quickly. And so we're in a position finally where we can purchase it. And the purchase price would be about $77,000. It sits right next door to a
Yeah.
previously
Yes.
built
Yeah.
Richfield Rediscovered. And it does, in this case, this is a little different in that Hennepin County does require a resolution, so we need approval, authorization of the resolution. And assuming we purchase it, the demolition would occur this spring and we'd get it out on the market right after.
Do we have any questions?
Madam Chair, what's
Commissioner Patel?
this lot size? This looks like a smaller lot.
It's a
Yeah.
50-foot,
It's a 50-foot.
not
Okay.
bad.
And the one next door, it was also 50 feet?
I believe so.
Okay. Yes, I would like to, let me get up there. I would like to move the resolution authorizing purchase of real property located at 7533 DuPont Avenue.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we've passed the resolution. Item number 5 is consideration regarding a special temporary adjustment of payment standard for the Section 8 rent assistance program for the clients at concierge apartments. And Mr. Devich is going to speak to it, and then we do have a member of the public that wanted to make a statement. Mr. Devich?
Thank you, Chair Supple, members of the HRA. Again, this is something that ordinarily could have probably been on a consent calendar, but I think it's important to spend some time looking at this, because I really think that our HRA staff did an excellent job in this regard to find this help, and to that end, I'm going to turn it over to John.
Thank you, Executive Director Devich and Chair Supple. Every year, HUD gives us new payment standards for our Section 8 rent assistance program. The payments go up that HUD is willing to give recipients as the rents increase in the metro area. And last year was no different. So on December 1st of 2005, the HRA approved a new payment standard for Section 8 rent assistance. Increased payment standards are usually applied to the contract rents at the tenant's lease renewal or upon moving. However, the HRA staff requested a variance from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, to this rule for tenants facing a significant contract rent increase at the concierge apartments.
Yep.
This higher payment standard was applied to the contract rent increases imposed by concierge for their month-to-month tenants, effective beginning March 1st, 2016. Although the increased payment standard was applied, 6 clients still face significant out-of-pocket rent increases. In an effort to alleviate this added rent burden, staff researched means to further assist these clients and found that HUD allows HRAs to implement a special temporary payment standard in certain circumstances. Staff is recommending that the HRA approve a special temporary payment standard increase to $883. This represents the maximum amount allowed by HUD for the affected 6 clients through their rent termination date of May 31st, 2016. The $883 special temporary payment standard would reduce the rent increase by an additional $33 per month for each client and would be retroactive to March 1st, 2016. A couple of things I want to note. One is that, this is really something that HUD allows in extraordinary and limited situations. And we had to argue hard with HUD for this. We were able to get it through the end of May. Now, there is a lawsuit from members of, from Housing Advocacy Group, and it's also representing several clients, tenants in the concierge, that would seek to change or to allow Section 8 residents to stay. Part of what they're seeking is an injunction to halt any evictions while the lawsuit is in play. The reason I say that is, again, the special permission we got from HUD to increase the rent payment increase was until May 31st. So in the event that Section 8 tenants are able to stay past May 31st, I'm doubtful that we will be able to continue to apply this additional rent increase. We're going to keep working with HUD to try to find out if we can. I feel like we were lucky to get as much as we did through them. And there was one other, maybe that was it? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Lynette Chambers, who I know worked on this very, very hard and watches our Section 8 folks very carefully, and she dug and dug and dug to get this, and it may not be a panacea, but it's something to help these folks, and they deserve it. So I'm really glad to hear it.
Yeah, we do appreciate your ongoing efforts.
If I might add just one thing, that is one of the benefits of having local administered Section 8, where you have, a person here in the city that knows people by name working on that. I am doubtful that if it was administered through Metro,
Yeah.
that this kind of thing would have happened. Not taking anything away from Metro or anyone else, but I'm just saying that's the kind of thing you get from, hometown consideration of looking at these programs.
So before we actually take any action on the item, we've had a request from a member of the public to speak to this matter. So if you would like to come forward and please state your name and address and then write it on the clipboard that's there, so it's official. And then you get
Approximately 3 minutes.
3 minutes to speak, so we'll let you sign in and then you can address the HRA.
I have a question in the meantime. Are we talking about a total of $833?
No. And what we don't have listed in here is what the rent standard was. And I can't tell you that off the top of my head. But the new rent standard is HUD is willing to put $883 toward each person's rent. In the past, let's say it was $750. So it's just an increased standard.
And from the HRA standpoint, it's just a pass-through?
Yes.
So there's no cost to the HRA other than your time and effort and
Right.
energies?
Right. Yeah, each client is different based on what their income is, and what their rent is. The rent does differ from unit to unit based on when leases were signed, size of the unit, and again, on
Do
people's
both are
incomes.
the
But
same. Let's try.
so we might be talking about averages here.
All right, well, welcome, and you may go ahead.
Concierge Apartments, and I've lived there 5 years. I'm not quite sure which of my thoughts today I should share with you right now, and I certainly would be open to any questions that you might have.
And could you state your name for the record?
It is Linda Soderstrom, and I live in the C building, apartment 322 at 7720 Penn Avenue South. Thank you very much. I represent 35 tenants who are in a tenants' rights organization at this time, and 35 more tenants who are joining up that group. I also am here to tell you that in October, 2,300 people lived at Concierge in 698 units. The rent was around $760 or less. The range those are selling or renting for now are $889 to $1,139. It's been raised twice since October. I happen to be on Section 8. There were 35 Section 8 people at Concierge. When the new owner took over, there were 100 GRH clients from Hennepin County at that time. So that would be 135 separated households in the 698 units. There were also 140 to 170 school-age children who the new owner started out to evict in October. But he acquiesced and let them stay till May 31st. So the May 31st deadline does not affect just Section 8, though I understand that's why we're here tonight. Many, many people have been affected, and future residents of Richfield who may have needed deeply affordable housing will not find housing here. Lynette Chambers shared with me last week that there are no new vouchers being accepted in the city of Richfield by any landlord whatsoever. Housing through the Section 8 Housing Choice voucher that is in place is being maintained, but no one can move into Richfield with a portable voucher and become a citizen here. No one living already in Richfield, say for example at Concierge, can port their voucher to a different property in Richfield.
You've got about a minute left. Go ahead.
About a minute left?
About a minute left,
Okay.
yes.
It's not just the 6 tenants who are being given this dispensation to help them through May 31st. When the landlord spoke here in November, He offered to help the people of which he wished to be rid. He offered to help them find safe places to move to. He also more recently, in speaking with Mayor Gattell, has offered not to put anyone homeless. And when she told me he meant 2 or 3 weeks leniency, with leases, I pushed back a little and said, could 2 to 3 months work better? So in addition to needing this raisure that you're about to vote on, I'm here tonight to let you know that we need very probably an extension for people with complex medical needs. And we also need help finding new places to live.
All right, thank you so much for coming to speak with us.
And if you did have any questions for me, I would be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you so much for coming to speak to us. Do we have any other questions for staff before we have a motion and vote on this?
Madam Chair, I will make the motion to approve a special temporary adjustment of payment standard for the Section 8 Rent Assistance Program for the clients at the concierge apartments.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
I'd like to just make a comment. I am just brokenhearted that we can't do better, but I know that Lynette has gone over and above, and I wish we could extend our some more financial assistance to those who really need it as well.
All right, so all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we've approved it. And Mr. Stark, could you please extend our thanks to Lynette Chambers for all the work she's done on this?
I will, thank you.
The next item on our agenda would be HRA discussion items. Is there any matter that anyone wishes to bring up?
Can I bring up something that's kind of goes a little bit further than that, I guess? Do we know when the Portland Avenue reconstruction starts again?
Commissioner Gotel, members of the HRA, I think it's coming up fairly shortly with this nice weather, but I don't have an exact date. What I will do is try and get that from Kristen Asher, and I'll get it over to council members and HRA members.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Commissioner Gepner?
Yes, a couple things in the idea of the discussion in the hub brought this to mind. Richfield is a unique community. It was the Metro's first suburb. It has a number of other firsts. It was the first Old Country buffet, and that prompted a desire on my part to create a compilation or a list of Richfield's firsts. And if my understanding is correct from some of the sources that I've contacted, the hub was unique in sort of being a precursor to Southdale as being a mall, not enclosed, but a mall different than a strip center. So I'm looking for other Richfield firsts to add to the list to instill community pride. So if anybody at the dais or anybody on the staff or anybody anywhere has any suggestions, I'm anxious to hear them.
I was under the impression that it was the first Champs as well.
Yes, that's what I'd heard.
Yeah.
I do believe that the Richfield HRA approved the first TIF district in Minnesota in 1975.
Mhm.
And I believe that Market Plaza with Village Shores was the first mixed-use project in Minnesota outside of the central cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yeah, okay.
So the first suburban mixed-use.
And we can be proud of the Richfield Rediscovered program. That was
Yeah.
Kids at Home is
Yeah.
another first.
Yes, there is. So the list is growing. So let's keep adding to it.
Speaking of pride, I'd like to once again congratulate on behalf of the HRA, our mayor, for your recent awards
Thank you.
that have been described in various newspapers. I saw it in the Sun Current and in the Star Tribune.
Thank
So
you.
We can be very proud of you.
Thanks. Thanks, appreciate that.
All right, that brings us to Executive Director Devich's report.
Chair Supple, members of the HRA, I really don't have anything specific to report on. And, you know, typically, what happens is when I find something that I think is of a newsworthy nature that needs to get out to HRA members, I am more inclined to just pop it out right away on an email or a memo. And so, you know, generally by the time we get to a monthly meeting, you've probably heard everything I know.
Okay.
Thank you for keeping us so well informed. We do appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, that brings us to claims and payroll.
So moved?
Second.
In favor of approving the claims and payroll, please say aye.
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 All opposed? We've approved the claims and payroll. Seeing no further business, we stand adjourned.